Hello everybody and welcome to another live cook-along. Glad to have you all back with us again. I'm going to give you all a little bit of time to get on, but tonight we're going to be making a seafood marinara. So at the moment I have my pasta boiling, so I've chosen to use the tagliatelle. So it's the one that's in like little sort of bunches. So I'll just put a couple of those in. So they're just boiling on now and we'll get those out when we're ready to serve up. But very excited to be here with you again tonight so that we can do some fabulous cooking and get you all using your fabulous Cook Expert machines. So have your Cook Expert at the ready. That is all we'll be using tonight. And we're going to start very soon. We'll just give everyone a few minutes to jump on. Hello to those of you who join us most weeks, which is exciting and good to have you back again. Welcome to anyone that's coming here and having a look for the first time. We'd love you to let us know if you are actually having a look for the first time, and we hope that we give you as much information as you need tonight. So we are going to do the seafood marinara, as I mentioned. So I've got my beautiful marinara mix, which I actually got this afternoon. So I don't know what else. I don't know, maybe you could actually do this recipe with chicken because the sauce to this is amazing. Like, it's got the spice, it's got the flavour, it's got everything that we need, which is really yummy. So I can't wait till you get to try this one. So who's cooking along with me? Your neighbours will be knocking on the door. My neighbours were. So when I did this test last week, I got the thumbs up of, I'm calling it your best dish ever. So I'm really excited to be able to give you this one tonight and for you to be able to get on and have a go of it yourself, whether it's tonight or another time. So the recipe will be added to the app so that there's lots of information on that app for you in terms of recipes, so lots of recipes. And congratulations to any of you who have purchased your gelato machine, because I noticed when Sarah was doing her cook-along a couple of weeks ago that a few of you had mentioned that you had ordered but were still waiting. So I can't wait to get your feedback on what you think of that fabulous machine. I know I'm super excited and love using it all the time and creating recipes, and I have noticed that the recipe numbers keep ticking for the gelato machine too, which is exciting. So I think we've given you all a couple of minutes to jump on. Let me just check my pasta. Don't want to overcook that. No, it's still going. And we're going to get on. We're going to get this happening because I know you're all probably starving hungry. It is that time of night again. Queensland, I think you're an hour behind us, aren't you? So you're probably not ready for dinner unless you're a really early eater. And I do apologise. So our Queenslanders might watch this in an hour or so just to be able to catch up and have it at their dinner time. So I'm popping in half a bunch of curly leafed parsley. So I'm going to pop that in. I'm popping in one whole onion, which I've just halved. I'm also popping in a chilli that I've just chopped into chunks, so you can just see that. And also my garlic cloves, which is there. So two cloves of garlic, one red chilli, one brown onion, and our half a bunch of curly leafed parsley. Unless, of course, you get a bunch that looks like it's not great, then just save a little bit for decorating on the top. Okay, so let's get going. We're going to lock that in, and we're going to do one of my favourite buttons, which is the pulse button. Okay, now the pulse button just means that we're going to get that chopped up to the consistency that we want. So basically we want it all chopped nice and finely. And during this process, we might have to scrape the sides, and I just realised that I haven't got my spatula, but no one shoot me. I'll use a different one. Just close your eyes. Okay, I'll cover up while I'm using a different brand of spatula. Okay, so we're going to scrape our sides down and we're going to give that another go. I'll get you to have a look in a second at how this looks. This could be a little stinger on the eyes, but let me just chop it up a little bit more. Take a breath. Take a breath away. The other day when I was doing this, and the chilli and the onion just hit me in the face and right down my throat. So I suggest you don't do that. So we just really want that nice and chopped, and it did take me a couple of times to get it to the consistency that I wanted, which is okay. And again, just do that as many times as you need to. One more. And then I can show you. Oh, here comes the sting. I promise not to cry. Oh, there's that last bit of garlic. Yes, chopped. I like it when I see that. Okay, so If you want to come on in and have a little look, you can see, I'm just going to step back because that's right in my eyes. You can see how that's nice and minced up now, ready for our next part of our marinara. So it's really simple, just the parsley, the chili, the garlic, the onions, and now we're just going to pop in a little bit of oil, and I'm going to give that a little bit of a fry up. So we'll just scrape the top of that because we don't want to waste any of those beautiful flavors, and we will get ready to go. So I think that should be on 3 minutes, 110 degrees, and speed 2A, I think, for memory. Okay, so let's get that going. So I'm going to take the cap off. I want to get that nicely steaming away in there without making it sweat for us. And the reason I've done 2A is because I wanted to give it a little stir, and then I wanted actually to sit in the bottom of that and really start to fry up, and then give it another stir again. So we'll let that go ahead. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add in our sauce, our wine, our water. Now when I did this recipe, I did actually, you could do 100 mils of wine if you wanted to, but I thought it was a little bit much. So I just did 50 mils of wine and then 50 mils of water, and then I just added some chicken stock powder to it. So if you wanted to add a chicken stock cube, you could do that as well. But I just found that I didn't want to overpower it. So when I used to make marinara, I used to always do it with red wine, and I started to I didn't really enjoy it that much. So trying it now with that sort of lighter version by doing the white wine and just half that amount, and then the rest water with some chicken stock, I just kind of felt that it gave it a nicer flavour. So that's why I'm doing it that way. Now we are also going to add, and I've mentioned it in the ingredients, the rind of a lemon and the juice of half a lemon. Now you can opt that out if you don't want it, but I honestly can tell you it's just perfect with it. It gives it that perfect little twist in the taste, and it's just enough. It's not too much. I think a whole lemon juice would have been too much, but that whole lemon rind and half the lemon juice, absolutely amazing. So I've got that ready to get that going in a minute for us. So we'll get that, and we mustn't have long to go with that now. My passata, my wine, my water, my chicken stock, my herbs, I think I've got everything. And we're going to hold off on our marinara mix until the last 5 minutes. So about 15 minutes for the sauce to cook, and then we'll add that marinara in for about 5 minutes because it doesn't take long to cook. If you ended up with some really big pieces of marinara mix, or big pieces of fish in there, just cut them up a little bit, which is what I did. But it's just a mixture of some prawns and some fish, some mussels. I think there's some squid in there as well. So really nice mixture of those things. Now I have to say, to buy marinara mix in the supermarket, which is what I did the first time I did this recipe, cost me about $6.50 for 500 grams. So when I added up the cost of making something like this at home, we were looking at about, it was like not even $12, and that's for 4 people. So if you can, like, imagine you go out to a beautiful, not even a beautiful restaurant, you could just go to your local Italian, might not be that flash, you're still going to pay $25 to $30 for a marinara for one person. So when you look at something like this, you're going, okay, you know what? For $12, four people in the house can have this beautiful meal, which is so amazingly restaurant quality. To be honest, I think it's even better, to say so myself. It is just, when you find a really good recipe, stick to it, and it's something that you can sort of add. If you household of seafood lovers, that they can actually, something you might do once a week or once a fortnight. If you wanted to do just prawns, you could always just do prawns with this one as well. You can really change it up the way you like it. But the seafood, the mix, absolutely beautiful. Okay, so if we've got long on there, we're counting down into the seconds, and we'll get ready to go with our next stage. Okay, so I've got everything. My passata, wine, water, stock, herbs, beautiful. Okay. Now, I'm going to give that a little flip. We'll give that a little stir down. Oh my gosh, it smells beautiful. So that's really reduced quite heavily now, which is great. And then I'm going to add on in my passata. So with the passata, we don't want to waste any of this passata. So this is my trick. So there's always passata left in the bottle. So this is what I do. I'll get my chicken stock, wine, water, liquid, and I'm going to pour it into there, and I'm going to give this a shake, and voila, it means that we get all of that passata out of there as well, which is what we want. Okay, so we'll put that aside. I've got some mixed herbs, so I want about a teaspoon of just some mixed herbs. If you wanted to, if you've got a whole lot of fresh herbs, you could just dice them up. But this is, you know what, a simple midweek meal, okay? So we're not pimping it out tonight. We're just doing it nice and simple, nice and fresh. I've got everything in there that I need. So now I'm going to up that, and we're going to let that run for about 15 minutes. And I'm going to leave it on 2A for memory, or did I drop it to 1A? No, I left it on 2A. But I am going to up the temperature a little bit, just to 120 degrees, okay? So we've got 15 minutes, 2A and 120 degrees. Now, I have left the cap off, and the reason I want to leave that cap off is because I don't want too much liquid to add to that. I don't want to add corn flour, which certainly you can if you want to. I don't find that this recipe needs the corn flour. However, if you leave the lid on and then you think, wow, it's a bit runny, then I would suggest then adding some corn flour. Just leave the lid off. But my trick is, sorry, I'm just going to get a piece of paper towel. Actually, then I'm going to check my pasta. So if this starts to spit, there's one of two things you could do. You can either just get a piece of paper towel, just pop it over the top, so it's still letting that steam escape, but it's not going to then have tomato sauce sprayed everywhere on you. You could also use your the insert, what do they call it, steamer, the insert basket, and you could actually either use the insert of the steamer basket or the steamer basket upside down so that it's not splashing everywhere as well. But honestly, I think the piece of paper towel is super easy. Now give me 1 second while I check my pasta, and I think that that is fabulous. So I'm going to tip that out. Beautiful. Okay, so I've got that beautiful pasta there now ready to go, so we'll leave that there for a minute and we'll get through our 15 minutes on this one. Like I said, if it starts to spit, then I'll show you how I just put the paper towel on it, but you don't want that liquid going in there. You don't want it nice and really runny. You want that thickness and that consistency to stay in there as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, while we're waiting for that, I'm actually going to get my rind off my lemon. Trying to think whether this is the one I used the other day. I think it was. This, I love it. Just does the best rinding and perfectly without going too deep. Okay, so I'm going to get all that off because we want to be able to put that in. And honestly, like I said, if you're not a fan of it, you can leave it out. But honestly, I wouldn't. It totally is just, makes it just that next level, I think, with that nice mix of that lemon in there. So we'll get that all off. I love these things, they're just so quick. Okay. So don't think it's too much rind, honestly. It's absolutely the perfect amount. That would have been funny. Okay, so we're nearly there. And then we're going to get the juice out of half that lemon as well. So we'll get that ready. Has anyone got a marinara recipe that they do and what their secret ingredient is? Mine's not a secret anymore, lemon rind. I'm sharing that with you, but honestly, it is the next level. Okay, so we've got all that out. Now, Sarah is there answering your questions for you as well. So if you've got questions as we go, she does have the recipe with her. So if you've missed anything or jumped on late, have any questions at all, please let Sarah know. She'll be there to definitely be able to answer those for you. Now, I think I'm pretty good. I think my lemon's now pretty naked. We'll pop that in there. Let me just grab a knife. Don't look, it's not serrated. Because apparently you should cut all of your citrus fruit with a serrated knife. Because if you don't, it can blunt your knife. So just completely don't watch what I'm doing right now. Because my serrated knife wasn't in the block. Okay, so we'll cut that there. And we're just going to leave that there to squeeze half of that lemon into there in a minute. So just wash my hands. Okay, so we'll let that keep going. Now, like I said, we're not putting the seafood in until the last 5 minutes. After 15 minutes, we'll then put it on for 5 minutes. And we're going to drop it to 1A for the seafood as well, because you just want a gentle stir every now and then. We don't want to break that seafood up. And 5 minutes is absolutely plenty. If you think it's not cooked, then pop the cap on it and let it sit for 5. Do not keep cooking it. We don't want it to get so cooked it breaks apart on us. We don't want that at all. So we'll let that keep going. Okay, Let me just check I've still got everything else I need. So I've got my marinara and my lemon with lime. So good, we're good to go. So one of the things I wanted to remind you all of tonight as well was that we do have the opportunity for you to do one-on-ones, and the lovely Sarah that's on there now does one-on-ones, and also Louise in Adelaide does them as well. And the one-on-ones are basically designed to, for those people that don't own a machine, or there's a type of machine that they're looking at that they don't have, and they want some, sort of some guidance on whether it's going to be for them. They want some guidance on what, recipes they can do with it, how it's going to suit their lifestyle, etc. So we do offer that service absolutely free, and we're more than happy to have you jump on and book in with the girls. So you can do that by jumping onto our website, so magimix.com.au. You can jump on there and make a booking. There are quite a few different times available to really be able to help you as well. Also, if you've got a machine and you're having issues or you're not sure, then of course we're more than happy to be there to help you as well. But if you've got friends who come over and they watch you use your Cook Expert, or watch you use your food processor, or your gelato expert, or whatever it is, and they're interested, they want more information, they're not sure, they're on the fence, then absolutely please direct them to our website to be able to give them as much information as we can. I'm sure all of you are fabulous advocates for our Cook Expert and for all of our machines, so I know that you'll probably be able to get your friends there anyway. But yeah, if they do need some help and they do need, it's a one-on-one, it's just done via like a Zoom type situation. So we really can give you that hands-on. They get to ask questions, and they get, all those things that they need as well. So like I said, it's there for them. It's not spitting yet, but it's steaming and it smells amazing. Okay, how far are we in? 8 minutes left. Wow. I might have to tap dance tonight. No, not at all. Okay, so we've got that going. So what else do we want? What else can I tell you? We will be doing TVSN next month with the Gelato Expert again, which is really exciting. So, we'd love for you to jump on and have a look at that. If you haven't bought your machine yet, but you're still on the fence or you're still really thinking about it, we do have a couple of our stores with the products as well. So that's the opportunity there. And it's something that even if you do own, and this is what I love about TVSN, if you do own a Cook Expert or you do own a Gelato Expert, that you can get on there and learn new recipes and new tricks and new things to be able to do with it as well. So that's always good. Lots and lots of things on there for you to get. We've got lots of, obviously, information there. We've got lots of recipes on our app as well. So I know that I'm always searching for new recipes. I always want something new. I'm always trying to create something or change something or, that sort of thing. So it's really nice for example, I used to always do my spaghetti bolognese recipe, and I love doing my bolognese recipe. I love the lasagna bolognese, which is a little bit different for me than my bolognese. But when I first got my Magimix, I thought, I don't know, I really love cooking it in the saucepan and really, letting it cook for a long time. So it took me a little while to get, see, we're starting to spit, so we're just going to do that because we don't want tomato sauce in my face or all over my bench or on my roof like might have happened before, but we won't talk about that. Okay, that wasn't actually this, it was something completely different, but anyway. So now I've lost my train of thought completely. Talking about recipes, talking about the app, talking about, I don't know, what was I talking about? Someone remind me. Someone put it on there and read it to me. No, I can't even see it. Anyway, no, it's completely gone. So I do that. I get all sidetracked and I forget what I'm doing. Anyway, so we've got, we're talking about recipes. So I was talking about my bolognese. That's right. I knew it would come back to me. So it did take me a little while. And at first I just reduced, so I usually do a kilo of mince. I find that a kilo of mince is fabulous in the XL bowl, but in the smaller bowl it was, I needed that little bit less because I like to be able to cook them for a long time. So if you've got recipes that you think, I do it in the pot, but I really would actually like the convenience of doing it in the Cook Expert, then let us know. Let us help you to be able to do that, because I think that once you've spent the money on a machine like this, that you really want to be able to get the most out of it, and you want to be able to do your favourite recipes and convert, the things that you do and the things that you've been doing. Did I leave that on 110 degrees? Can I just check? Oh, I think I was meant to... Oh, no, I was meant to up it. I suddenly thought... But that's for for the next bit. I'm going to down it a bit. Yeah, so it's really, you know, we're really here to help you with all those things as well. So please let us know. If you've got things you want to see, I know as it starts to come into summer, well, we're all waiting to find out when summer's going to start, or even, what are we in now? Winter, spring. Spring really hasn't sprung yet. We're still getting nice rain, cloudy days and awful in Sydney. And I know to Victoria, to all of you Victorians, I hope you're staying safe as well. But, you know, we'll start to get some nice summer recipes, and that's when you'll find that your food processor really kicks in. So doing those beautiful salads, doing those beautiful, you know, sauces and dressings and your pestos and all those things as well. So your food processor, I find, is absolutely turns into a summer thing for me. And it really gets a way more of a workout than it did in winter, with all of those beautiful soups and things as well. Now, the other thing you could add to your marinara, if you wanted to, and of course we don't have time to do that tonight, but is to do a beautiful baguette. So something nice and simple. So I just do my 250 grams of flour with my teaspoon of yeast, my teaspoon of bread improver and a teaspoon of salt, 120 mils or 150 mils of water, and I just let that go. That will do 2 nice sized baguettes, which is perfect to go with something like this for 4 people. Okay, so, you know, if you want to add and you know, or if you want to make it for 6 people and you want to fill them up with bread a little bit, then that's of course a perfect way to go. So it is a nice one to be able to do. How long have we got there? I wish I could see the reflection. I can't quite work out where it is. We've got 4 minutes to go. Oh my gosh, it smells so amazing. Yes, so we've got, you know, there's lots of things you could do to add on to this. For anyone that's gluten-free, obviously you can use gluten-free pasta, but you could put this on rice if you wanted to. If you wanted to be super healthy, you could actually do some zoodled carrots and zucchinis and actually serve it onto that if you wanted to. So there are, of course, other options than going with the pasta. Lots of people do ask for recipes that are gluten-free, but of course, for something like this, it's just changing it up. It's just changing it so that you can just do, you know, your gluten-free pasta, or you can do your zoodles or your rice or something like that instead. So, oh my gosh, that steam. See, she's puffing up in the middle there. That's why I've just got that little bit of paper towel. And I really, honestly, it does start to splash and splatter. Like I said, if you've just joined us, you don't want to put the cap on because it is going to sweat in there. We want to keep that nice and thick, that sauce. We don't want it too runny. If you have left your cap on by mistake, please don't panic. It's okay. You might just have to add a little bit of water and corn flour mixed together into your marinara mix if you don't think it's thick enough. Generally, by the time you let your pasta soak in it, it tends to be quite thick. So we'll let that keep going. Must be close now. Now I'm going, oh, I think I need water because I've talked so much. Okay, so we've got our rind ready. Have you all got that ready? You've got your juice ready, which we're going to add. We've got our marinara mix, which I'm just going to check. The marinara mix I bought the other day had like the, you know, your squid, you know, not tubes, but your circles. So I'm just going to actually cut a few of these up just a little bit more. So I just noticed they are a little bit big. But that's okay. The round, I liked the round ones, you know, the rings, you know what I'm talking about, I'm sure. But yeah, so just make sure nothing's too huge. Prawns are going to cook super quick. If there's not a lot of prawns in there and you want to spread them out, just cut them in half, because they're actually quite large in this marinara mix. So I might actually just cut them in half because then more people will get a prawn. And of course, you can always do, which I used to do, I used to be quite picky. And there was some things, I never used to like mussels, but to be honest, once they're cooked, you can't even tell what they are. When I used to do marinara, I used to just go in and go, oh, can I have this amount of this and this amount of this, and rather than just buying the marinara mix. Honestly, buy the marinara mix. It is so much cheaper to do it that way as well. And it's really good seafood. It's not awful at all. It is, and really, yeah, like I said, well priced. I think it was like $12 or $13 for 13 something from the supermarket, so it cost me $6 to buy 500 grams for a recipe like this, which is going to feed 4 people. So it's getting really steamy. I'm like, can you still see me? I am here somewhere in the mist. So yes, so it really is a nice economical meal to make, and it is a meal. I like it when you find a good meal. My children, I get in trouble off my children because I find something that they like and then I make it all the time and then they hate it. So don't make this mistake that Vanessa makes. So what I do now is when I find something they like, I try to limit to once a fortnight. because I know otherwise I'll kill them with it. So a couple of times a month and I know I'm safe. But once I start doing it on the weekly, forget it. I don't know what it is. I don't know. But just because I said I like it doesn't mean you have to cook it all the time. And I'm like, well, once a week's not all the time. But apparently it is. Okay, we must be nearly there. We're in the seconds. We've got to be in the seconds. Who's cooking with us and can tell everyone how amazing their kitchen is smelling right now? And I think too, because I can smell the lemon rind, that's actually really adding to, like, it's the experience. It feels like it's all sort of together. Now, for the last part, when we add our marinara, we are going to pop the cap back on, just because we are, and we don't want it to continue splashing. We now want all that heat held into that bowl, so that, oh gosh, it really is steamy in here. We want all of that marinara to soak those beautiful juices up and contain the heat into that bowl. So we want to make sure that we pop that cap back on in just a minute. We must be close. We must be on the countdown. Yay, look at that. Now, this is the be careful part. Just throw it backwards away from you, okay? You don't want to scold your face with steam, unless, of course, you're due for a steam facial. Then, of course, go for it. Okay, so we're going to carefully take that lid off, and I am going to just give it just a little scrape down, just a little bit in there. And I'm going to make a mess. Yes, because that's what I do. Sorry, now you can't see my face. I just didn't want to burn myself. Okay, so we're just going to give your lid a scrape down, get all that juice back in there. Now, do you know the worst thing about cooking this tonight? Let me tell you in a minute, because it saddens me. Okay. Oh, that is so beautifully thick. Like, it's just, come and have a look at it for me, because I've just scraped down all the sides, but you can see that it does have that level of thickness. So I haven't made it runny. It's got that nice glossy, do you know what I mean? Like, it's not water, and that's exactly what we don't want. We don't want water. We want it to be a beautiful consistency so that it holds on to everything. I'm going to pop my marinara in. So I'll pop that in there. Oh, that's already cooking. Okay, let's just pop that all in that sauce beautifully. Then I'm going to add my lemon rind. Oh, that bit is. So we'll just pop all of that in. We want it all in. Like so. Beautiful. And then I'm going to remove my seeds because nobody wants those. I do have a squeezer in my drawer somewhere, but that's okay. And I'm going to, oh, that's a juicy little lemon. Squeeze in that juice of just half that lemon, trying to catch the seeds if there are any. And honestly, don't do the whole lemon with the juice. It's too lemony then. It just gives it enough to give that beautiful taste to it. And then we're going to season her like so, salt and pepper. And again, to your own liking. Some people like to season after, some people like to season during. It's completely a personal choice. No one's judging. Well, you might be judging, but I did it. Okay. Beautiful. Oh, we should have a marinara cooking competition. Oh, it smells so good. Okay, popping the cap on. This is what we're doing. We're going to go for just 5 minutes. Oops, and we've gone the wrong way. So we're just going to go for 5 minutes. And I'm going to leave my speed on 1A. And I'm going to drop my temperature just down to 110. Okay, because that's all nice and hot. Oh, did it start? Okay, and like I said, we only want it on 1A. And the reason we want it on 1A, can I just confirm that is on 1A? The reason we want it on 1A is because we really want that seafood to be left really whole. We only want to put this on for 5 minutes. So if you, after 5 minutes, look and you go, oh, I don't think it's quite ready, please don't cook it any longer. Just pop the lid back on and let it sit for 5 minutes. That's all you'll need to do. Hopefully my dishwasher's unpacked when I finish this, because then I can put everything straight into it. But who's hoping? Whose child has the job of unpacking the dishwasher and it's like pulling teeth? Let's not even talk about it. It'll just upset me. Okay, let's wipe that away and we are good to go. And you know what? when you think about it, there's hardly any washing up. I used a few plates and a bowl, and I'm going to use the rinse cycle, let's be honest, at the end anyway. And voila, beautiful dinner, nice and easy. I'm going to get my pasta ready. So bear with me. Actually, I might need to run some hot water through that for a sec. I'll get that ready in just a sec. So yeah, so it's easy, and this is what I love. It's all contained. It's all in here. It's not, you know, I have people say, but I could have cooked that in a fry pan. I go, yeah, no, you could have. However, at the end, you've got seafood marinara sauce sprayed up the back of your kitchen along your. I've got like a window splashback, and I hate cleaning it. It's all over your cooktop if you've got gas, or you know you don't have an induction. Induction's a lot easier, of course, to wipe over, but you know, whatever. It's all in here. It's all ready to go. So I'm just going to rinse that pasta. It won't be one sec. Okay. Just to stop it sticking. Sorry if that was a bit noisy, but I'm sure you can still hear my voice. Okay. So, we've probably only got a couple of minutes left on that. So I'm going to pop. Now, if you wanted to, you could do this one of two ways. You can, I was going to tell you what saddens me about this dish in a moment, and I will. One of two ways. You can pop your pasta into the bowl and let it all soak in beautifully, lovely, or, you know, give it a few minutes to soak and then serve it. Or you can do what I'm going to do tonight, which is pop the pasta in there, especially if you've got people, some eat pasta, some don't. I'm going to pop the pasta in there, and then I'm going to put my marinara sauce over that. Now, the reason I'm doing that tonight is because, very sadly, no one in my house besides me eats seafood. What is that? So I'm choosing a dish. Sorry, I'm just going to get my scoop. I'm choosing a dish that I love and that my neighbour has called it my best ever, and my children aren't even going to eat it. How sad is that? So sad. They'll eat tuna out of a tin on rice cakes. That's about as far as we get. Or in sushi. But anyway, so tonight I'm like, guess what? I'm not cooking your dinner, because guess what I'm having? Seafood marinara. So I'm kind of winning, really, aren't I? Because I'm cooking my dinner while I'm working. So my neighbour's like, oh, but I'm away. And I'm like, well, what am I going to do with all this marinara? And he goes, can you not put the pasta in it and freeze it in batches for me? I'll have it when we get back next week. Lucky him. So that's what's happening to my marinara sauce. So sad. Unless, of course, any of my friends are watching and they are hungry and they are ready to come over here right now. Or if you want my address, let me know and I'll give it to you. And just be lined up. Bring your own baguette, though, because I forgot to make those. I'm waiting for the doorbell to ring. Wouldn't surprise me. Okay, I should have set that up. Got one of my children outside to ring the doorbell. And it could have also been a comedy show. Okay, but look, I love this pasta with marinara. So it's just the tagliatelle. It's like in nests, and you just put in like one nest per person kind of size. So this was 2 nests and perfect for 2 servings. Now I do have my parsley on the side, which I am going to use to dress this as well. So we're going to add a little bit of extra parsley onto the top there. But this is coming together absolutely fabulously. It is bubbling very gently now. We did drop the temperature, remember, down to 110, because at 120 it was going wild. And like I said, we don't want to overboil our seafood. We want to keep those nice pieces and those nice chunks in there as well. So we'll have that ready. Sarah's there, remember, answering all your questions. Ask them while she's still there. We're almost at the finish line. We are 30 minutes in, and I think we've done really well to have another midweek meal made in 30 minutes. I think, actually, I should write a 30-minute meal book. A Cook Expert 30-minute meal book. Right, it is done. Are we ready? The big reveal. Do you want to come and have a look at it? Or do you just want me to serve it up? Look at that. Now, I am going to check that everything's cooked. But like I said, if you think it's not, and you can tell by picking up a prawn. Honestly, those prawns are absolutely divine. I'm serving this up. This does not need another minute at all. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm so excited that my dinner's done and that I don't have to share tonight because no one eats seafood. It's just really devastating, actually. Okay. So here we go. We are going to, I'm going to add some more sauce around the edge of that pasta because I can. So who's coming over for dinner? Who's joining me? Oh, and if you're going to bring baguettes, bring wine as well, please, because I think this would go beautifully with a nice glass of white. My little bit of parsley on the top. Oh my, I want to know, and I want to see your pictures. No one ever shares their photos of their food once they've done it, and that really saddens me. I want to see your pictures. I want to see your family absolutely loving this dish, and I want to know what you think. Voila, bon appetit. I hope you enjoy it. I've loved bringing this one to you. I loved being able to create something that I just thought was so full of flavour. It's got that little bit of spice, and I know that you're going to absolutely love it. Thank you again for watching us tonight. Sarah will be with us in a couple of weeks with another fabulous recipe, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.